Hello, back on March 28th, a new era of University of New Orleans volleyball was ushered in with the hiring of a brand new coach, and we are happy to have that new coach with us now. It's been more than a month now, so you're not new anymore, and you've had practices and all that. This is Millicent Van Norden, who has a great name, and obviously she's a great coach. Good to have you here. Welcome to the University of New Orleans.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
And I shouldn't be saying welcome because you are actually a local.
I am a local. Both of my parents grew up in LaPlace, Louisiana, and we were raised in Seattle, and I was able to finish out high school right here locally at East St. John, and I've always considered this home.
So before I get to you as a coach and the team and all that good stuff, why did you take this job? What drew you to it?
Well, we frequently visited the area since college. I went away to college and then worked. I think I was gradually moving further up the East Coast. Mm-hmm. But every year, maybe 2-3 times a year, my entire family would come back down. And, when the position became available, the thought to be back amongst family and help a program that needed to be rebuilt and revamped, which is kind of like become my specialty, I thought would be a great opportunity. So it just seemed like an exciting prospect. And now I've gotten to see my family every day and be home and eat good food. So it's been great.
And Coach, obviously you saw something in this program and in the institution.
Absolutely. I think New Orleans is an attractive area, and partnered with our academic strengths from a university perspective, I think recruiting, hands down, is going to be very competitive.
You were an athlete,
yes.
And not just an athlete, but a very good athlete, a championship athlete. This lady was a heptathlete. She played volleyball. Just talk about where. As I said, Alcorn State, you were a heptathlon champion, and whole works.
I was. I ended up being a dual sport athlete. A unique story coming out of high school, kind of doing a little bit of everything and getting pulled in different directions. And my opportunity finishing high school came in track and field. So I had a few options, and to be quite honest with you, I chose the option where I thought I wouldn't have to do the heptathlon, which is a little bit ironic. So I went there and got involved and definitely broadened my scope of abilities. But to get out of cross country, I joined the volleyball team. So I went through in distance and fell in love with it, and it's just been a draw for me ever since. I think it's a game that changes. And he has evolved so much since I competed. And as a coach, I feel like it always presents a challenge for me to get better, get smarter, be stronger. So for me, volleyball has just been a love ever since college.
You are a veteran coach, a veteran successful coach at a number of places. Tell us where.
I've been quite a few places, Alcorn State, North Carolina A&T, South Carolina State, Coppin State, University of Pittsburgh, Maryland Eastern Shore. So I'm glad to be home where I can kind of dig my roots in. What I found at most of those places is once we were able to get going and have some success and build up our recruiting classes, the quality of student athlete that was interested in my programs continued to get higher and higher. Then once I started my family, obviously for female coaches, we have that battle between, our growing family and the responsibility there, as well as our professional careers. And so when I saw this opportunity, I saw it as an opportunity to have long-term growth and to partner my family's needs as well as what my career goals are ultimately, and somewhere I could be long-term.
Rebuilding. You had some successful rebuilding jobs, so you know what it takes. What's the key?
Having a commitment mentally from the student athletes. I think we've had some teams where we've been more talented or less talented on either side, but that mental connection that we build, our team chemistry, our team culture, typically makes the difference for us. It's usually our tipping point in a ton of matches. And so getting everyone to buy in and be committed to the full process, to your academic goals, to partnering that with what we require as a team outside of just our training and our competition. And once we get our system in place in those other areas, things start to come together for us as a team.
You had a chance to hold some practice sessions with this team. What did you see?
I think these young ladies, what I really like about them is they want to win. They want to be successful, and they're open to change. And I think for student athletes, having to deal with change and new things that are outside of their control can be very difficult. But the great thing about this group is that they want to win, and I want to win. So when our goals are similar, usually we can start moving in the right direction.
It takes practice to win. So we have the opportunity to catch up with Coach Norden at one of her practices.
You want it shallow and then leading her forward.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then you should be sidelines on defense, Lauren. You shouldn't be on top of Brooke. It's back row attack, and she dropped her elbow. You should read roll shot, and you just stay wide. So the first thing I should see off her contact is you tracking where the ball's going and then getting the center of your body in line with it. And then if you feel like it's coming deep, all you should be doing is backpedaling towards the line. And if you feel like it's close, make a contact. If you're not the passers, one of you will overlap. One goes deep baseline, one comes up shallow, and just communicate. Kelsey, play it. It's in, or it's out, it's out. Then you open up.
No.
Well, looking at that, you look pretty tough. But you also look like you like to teach.
I do. I think that interaction, especially with what we call our millennials, is important. I think information for everyone now is so much more at your fingertips than when you and I were competing. And so I'm trying to partner that with my teaching style where, we're open to questions. And I feel like the more of an understanding they have for where we're trying to go, the harder they'll work at trying to accomplish it. So teaching is one of the key areas, I think, for me in improving my program.
Like you used to hear on one of the chicken commercials, pieces, parts. Talk about some of the pieces, parts of this team. I'm talking about some of the ladies that, may have grabbed your attention.
I think, obviously, statistically, Taylor Berry led the team from a hitting percentage, blocking, in a few different categories. So I was excited to come in and have an opportunity to work with her and see what her strengths are. Obviously, she's very physical. She's the strongest kid on the team. She deadlift 315 the other day. Ooh. So she's the strongest young lady on the team. And we're trying to get that strength to transfer more consistently onto the court. But I think she's a huge part of our future success. Celeste, our setter, just love her from the very first time we started to interact. And statistically, it was an uncertainty looking at how she performed last season. But being able to interact with her on the court, she's going to be a core part of our success next season. She's fast, executes very well, good communicator, great leadership skills. So I really like her. And Lauren, our libero, is one of the most dedicated players, I think, in the athletic department. And, she's going to go full speed, good, bad, or indifferent. And you always need someone with that level of commitment on the team. So if you think about that little triangle where those are people who could touch almost every ball for us in certain situations, I think we have a bright future.
And one of the additions is not just a player, but it is a sport.
Yes.
Sand volleyball
Yes.
is coming to the University of New Orleans.
Yes.
So you sound excited about that.
I am.
And for those who don't know, beach volleyball. Okay, that's what it is.
Yes, technically called sand. I think one of the exciting things about that is I've lost so many recruits because the programs that I've worked at did not offer a sand opportunity.
Really? Mm-hmm.
It is a growing and emerging sport. A lot of our young women are very interested in competing in it. And as I told Mr. Morrell in the interview process, if you think about professional opportunities in the U.S., sand volleyball is a professional opportunity where some of our great athletes can stay home and not travel overseas to compete at the highest level. So offering sand puts us in an elite part of Division I as a whole, and I think it will make recruiting as well as our competition very successful.
As we said, you are a local, East St. John High School in reserve. You are not the only local who coaches a team here in this athletic department. Keyshawn Carter, the head coach of the women's basketball team, you guys were teammates.
We were teammates.
Fellow Wildcats.
We were fellow Wildcats.
All right, tell me something about it.
We're all extremely competitive. We play different positions in basketball, so one kind of offset the other. But it was very exciting. I think moving home when I was in high school, I actually made my way to basketball because I wanted to make friends. So our American history teacher was the coach of the basketball team at the time. It's like, hey, you want to make some friends? I was like, sure. So I went to basketball practice, and I had a warm welcome from Keyshawn. He was a year younger than me, so she was playing high school basketball at the middle school level. And she was a lot more seasoned than I was, so I had my work cut out for me to catch up with her. But a great leader, very vocal, really enjoyed playing with her.
That's her personality. Okay, who's a better athlete? Come on.
Now, as far as
now I'm getting in the hot water again.
I definitely would say that I was a better athlete, branching out to some other sports. But I knew my role. And on our
Okay.
team, everyone had a role, and I think as we have both transitioned into coaching as adults, it's just amazing to see how what we did as athletes, how that parallels to what we're trying to teach. So I think it's great that she's still in the business, and I'm excited that, you know, us young women, we're still holding on, being competitive coaches, and I look forward to great things for her program as well.
She knows her role. You heard her say that. And her role is head volleyball coach of the New Orleans Privateers. It looks like the program is in very good hands.
Thank
Coach
you.
Millicent Van Norden, once again, welcome back home. And
Thank you.
we know we're going to see great things from New Orleans Privateer volleyball.
I'm looking forward to it.